In this training, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to scale and add 50, 75, $100,000 per month into your detailing business with high ticket ceramic coatings and PPF. There's not going to be a lot of fluff in this training. I'm going to get right down to it and just break down the exact steps you need to take to get it done. I'm not going to try to waste your time. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, before I started this, I am actually a detailer myself. Before I got into Detail Wizard, where now we market for over 100 detailing shops all over the United States, Canada, and Australia, I started my own detailing shop. I still own it and operate it today. We have 4 full-time employees, but 5 years ago, this was me doing all the detailing myself, grinding out in the sun, making 7K, 10K a month, mostly focusing on bulk $200 details. Eventually, I got a trailer, and then we got a van now that carries mobile water and power. The guys take it out, but I just say that to say I've been exactly where you are now. Probably now you might have a shop. That's who we mostly work with is detailing shops. Sometimes they don't start mobile. A lot of times those guys start mobile and then eventually upgrade to a shop. But I say this just to say I'm in your shoes. I'm in the industry actively. That's how I got into this. I scaled my own shop up to $30,000-$40,000 a month, and now I really enjoy the marketing side of the business. The detailing side I could do without, honestly. I didn't get into it as a passion business. I got in it to make money. So I outsource all that. I've got employees that take care of all that. The business kind of runs itself so that I can spend most of my time on Detail Wizard and marketing for other detailers. Now, after the system, you can see here's a 25K a month. And as well as not only have I scaled my business, but like I said, I've scaled 100 plus detailing business in the US, Canada, and Australia. And you can actually see that we have one second. There we go. Now we can share this. You can actually see what our members are saying here. We've got a whole testimonial page that you can check out below this video. I'll have a link to it, but bunch and dozens and dozens of testimonials, all just kind of breaking down how they scaled with us and what to expect when you're working with us and all the results they got. So, like I said, we've done this for a while. We've done this for over a year now, 100 plus shops. So we have the system kind of down to a science. And this is it from a 30,000 foot view. So how it works is step 1 is ad creation. That's this one right here. Offer and ad creation. So creating the right offer that makes it easy to sell to leads, as well as making the right creative that grabs their attention, stops them from scrolling, and gets them to fill out your information so that you can contact them and book. Most of the problem with the creative is it's just low quality creative. It doesn't get people interested. It's just a picture of a car being detailed or a really shitty video of a car being detailed. And I'll show you how to fix that here in the next couple modules. Step 2 is ad campaign setup. It's spelled wrong. Most guys, they just never ran an ad, or they have tried it and they just lost money and they stopped the bleeding and just decided that ads don't work. Or most likely you've worked with some kind of agency that just took your money, put up some ads, never tweaked it, and they just blew through your ad spend, and then eventually you have to quit with them. Or a lot of those guys are not detailers as well, so they're just not in the industry. They don't know your offer very well, and they're just overcharged. They charge an insane $2,000-$3,000 a month. That's just unsustainable, especially when you're getting started with them and they haven't proved themselves. Third thing is automations. You don't know what softwares to use. You don't know what to say or how to say it to make people buy. But the reason we do this in automations is because if we get you 100 leads in a week, it's going to be impossible to text or call every single one of those people manually. So we do it through automations, and this is one of the key steps in this process to actually pre-sell the leads. So that way when you get them on the phone, it's just an easy yes, and they book with you and you move on to the next lead. So that's a big cheat code in this process. And then actually closing the deals is probably the most important part, because if we get you 1,000 leads and you can't close any of them, it doesn't really matter. But step 4 is closing the leads. The biggest problem with that is just self-belief a lot of the time. It can be your actual sales process. You don't have a system to actually sell the leads on a one easy call. You just kind of call the lead and very casual and just kind of wing it. That doesn't work long term. You're going to sell some that way, just statistically, but over time you're going to let so many slip through the cracks if you don't have like a repeated system that works over and over and over again. So we'll go through our sales script and our sales system as well in this training. But yeah, you're going to get a breakdown of all 4 of these steps and processes inside the next couple modules. Some of our results: Eric Adame went from 3K part time, adding 21K per month, and he upgraded to a shop. He was mobile when he first started in 2 months. These are all guys that work directly with me and the Detail Wizard team, but they were using the same system that you're going to learn today. Christian had never sold a coating before. He was doing 10K, and he was doing mostly like bulk detailing work to selling 4 coatings per week, and he added 35K per month in a month and a half. So he's crazy. He's in Florida. Both these guys, not huge cities either. So it's not like if you're in a tiny town, it's not going to work for you. Cohen had a small shop, wasn't booking every day. Now he has a team of 4 installers, is about to pass 50K a month. So you could just see like these guys are doing big jumps. Eli actually quit his job. He had a cool story. Quit his job as a detailer at a dealership, started his own company, added 17K per month in 40 days. And then his old boss actually called him, not knowing it was his company, booked a detail for his own car rather than just getting it done at his dealership. That's just like a kind of a crazy comeback story. And then the system works for established detailers who are serious about scaling. So if you want to add 50, 75, 100K per month, this is how I do it over and over and over again. It's a repeated process that we use every single week. We're getting new people joining. It's not really for part-timers because you're going to have some ad spend to actually run ads, like naturally. So if you're a weekend warrior or a hobbyist or you're part-time, it might not work for you. Go ahead and go through the training. I mean, can't hurt. But this is for serious detailers who are looking to scale their detailing business right now. All right, step 1 in the process to add 50, 75, 100K per month to your detailing business with ceramic coatings and PPF is your offer and ad creation. So this is how we stop people in their tracks and first get them interested in our offer, right? We'll start off with what most detailers really do, and it comes down to 2 main things. They have bad ad creative, which normally looks something like this. I just pulled these off of Instagram. As I'm scrolling, they come up because it's just my algorithm. They are basic picture ads that don't grab anyone's attention. Nobody with an actual luxury vehicle sees this ad and thinks this company is professional. They go to Canva, use a template. It looks like every other detailer who did the same thing. Or they might, if they step it up a little bit, throw a bunch of random detailing clips together and then throw up like some words on the page that says like ceramic coating sale. Still, both of them not high converting at all. And this is what we need to stay away from. Just so you know, if you've tested running ads for yourself before or had an agency and they ran something like this, they did not know what they were doing. So that's one of the main problems. The second one is a bad offer. So one of the things you see a lot is huge discounts. It's like a race to the bottom. They'll be like $500 off ceramic coating this week only, or $900 off. It's just huge, ridiculous discounts on ceramic coating. And you could actually add $500 to your price or $900 to your price and then just subtract that off when people book. The problem with that is when a luxury buyer, who is our ideal buyer, has a luxury car that wants to get it protected, sees that you are running a $500 or $900 off special, that doesn't, in their head, that registers them as you're not that reputable. Like the guys that are the biggest shops in their city and that handle all the wealthy people cars, they don't offer $500 off their ceramic coating because they know what they're worth, right? That's just a trigger in you're just changing who your customer is. Like if you're doing a bunch of standard details or you have a shop and you're doing ceramic coatings but you just want more of them, the main thing to focus on is who is buying your ceramic coating, right? We want luxury detailing or luxury vehicle owners who need to get their car protected, that it makes sense for them to get their car preserved and protected by ceramic coating, PPF. Either one works. Those people have a trigger in their mind. If you have giant discounts, they write you off. They're like, you're a budget detailer. That's not who I want, like doing my car, right? Another problem is it's just race to the bottom. You want to be on the more luxury side rather than the $500, $900 off side, because some new guy will come in and just undercut you and you'll have to go under him. We don't want that. So we're going to differentiate by value with our professionalism, our results, our reviews. You can even do our customer service. So that's how we're going to differentiate it rather than we're cheaper than that guy. We don't want to be, that's the last place you want to be when you're doing high ticket or really any detailing, especially if you're doing standard detailing for $250 and somebody undercuts you. the last thing you want to do is go back and undercut him, because that's just unsustainable and unprofitable. So now that we know what most retailers do, let's go over our framework. What we want from the ad and the offer is it to be engaging, it attracts real buyers, and you don't have to compromise on price. Even if you've never made an ad before, have no video editing experience, I'll show you how to make the ad yourself or have it made in a fairly cheap way too. These are the 3 things we're going to want to focus on. Not compromising on price. The ad has to be engaging so that they stop scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. It has to, they're scrolling through watching cat videos or whatever, just killing time, bang, like there's an ad and they're like, wow, okay, I want my car to have that. And it stops them in their tracks. That's what we need. And the people we want to stop need to be real buyers. So that's the magic recipe, right? Now, proof-wise, you can see we've run, these are just 2 campaigns. We have hundreds, like I was talking about, but these guys are getting ads or getting leads for $7. He's got 100 leads that month, $4, $3, over 100 leads that month. So you can see our ads work at stopping and getting people to fill out their info for not that expensive, right? Like this $4 lead, if one of these $117 leads ended up in a $2,000 coding, he only spent $490, right? That's obviously, we don't want to spend $490 for one schedule, and that's not what happened. But worst case scenario, assume one guy scheduled out of these 130 profitable, right? So that's the magic recipe, and that's what we're going to go over here. So the creative, when it comes down to what kind of ads, video or image ads, we always do video. They're just more engaging. You can show more value in a video ad and explain more, and also get into your emotional triggers more, and it makes you more credible. Anybody can throw up a picture ad, like I was showing in the bad creative example. Not that many or less people can make an engaging video ad. But another reason, like I was saying, is that you can show more value in a picture. You don't want to have it super wordy in a picture ad anyway, just as a general rule of thumb. But if you were going to do that and you needed to explain the value and evoke emotion and all this, it would just be too much in a picture ad, and it wouldn't work. In a video, you can just talk through the emotions that they're going to be feeling when their car's protected, and the value you're providing, and the process of the ceramic coating. So it's just easier to do that in a video ad, as well as it makes you look more credible. Now, what's in the ad? We have 2 different angles of ads that we always run. The first one is process ads, and this is just going to be breaking down the steps of the coating, or the PPF. So I'll just be like, ceramic coating in Houston this week only. We have 2 spots left. You can compete on scarcity rather than price. But basically, you're going to go through the process of a ceramic coating, and you're trying to prove you're professional at it, right? You're not trying to confuse them with words they don't know, but you want to kind of prove that you're an expert in the field as you explain it. The second thing is benefits. This one is going to evoke more emotion normally and show more value, because they might not understand the process as you're going through it. They just know, wow, okay, that sounds fancy, or it sounds like something I've heard of, but I don't really know what it is. The benefits, on the other hand, is going to actually be things they understand, things they want or wanted. But it's like, it'd be like, are you tired of your paint fading over time? Or you tired of rock chips, chipping your front bumper? Or are you scared that, acid rain or road tar on the interstate is going to wear down your vehicle? Or you're tired of your your car's paint fading over time and taking down the value of your vehicle? All these little pain points is what you're going to kind of poke at throughout the ad, showing them that they really do need this service. That's the one that normally performs best. Both of them work. We've gotten good ROI on both of them. I would test both is what we would do always. I'd make one process, one benefit, and just test them against each other. Whichever one does better, keep it on, turn the other one off, make a second version of the one that did better, and test it again against it. I'd always be testing 2 against each other at least, because you could always improve and do better. But as far as what's in the actual ad creative, that's what we're doing, and it works like a champ. How to make the ad or have it made. So the first option is make it yourself. What we would do is go to CapCut. It's a free editing software. You can have it on your laptop, on your phone. You just pull a clip, and what I would do is I'd go to YouTube, and they have like a YouTube downloader. So let me see. And then I'd go ceramic coating car, sure. Yeah, and then you're gonna go to YouTube Reel download. Oh yeah, YouTube Shorts. I'm gonna go here and just pull. So you're gonna so this one has a logo, you wouldn't want that.
Without a ceramic coating versus with ceramic.
And just to be clear, we don't do this. We have an ads team that makes our ads, so they use B-roll. They use B-roll there. We're not using other people's shorts. But if you wanted to make it yourself, this is a way you could do it. So then you're gonna go up here, get the URL. You could also do it on Instagram too. They have like Instagram Reel downloaders too. So you could download the Instagram Reel. And then you're gonna take this clip or multiple of the clips. So you could download, I'm not gonna download it. You could download it, pull it into CapCut, clip them together, and then edit them. Throw a voiceover on there about the process, put some captions on it. And that's how you can make it yourself for free. And you can always start that way, see how they perform. If they don't perform well, then you could have it made by somebody else. The other option is if you have your own footage of coding and you don't need to pull it off of Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or YouTube, that's ideal. But if you don't have footage of it, you can go to Instagram, YouTube, cut it, download it, and then make an ad out of it. Now, if that doesn't work for you or you don't want to edit yourself, again, we can do it for you. Or I would go to Fiverr or Upwork. And I've got a really good team of ad designers that I've accrued over the years, because it is a little hit or miss. But once you find a good one, they can just pump out ads for you every time. They know the formula you're looking for. Another thing you could do is go to Facebook Ad Manager or Ad Library, sorry, and look up your competitors' ads. So, for example, let's go to. So here we go. Yeah, so here we go. Insane Paint Auto Detailing. You just go here, and you can send this ad to your editor and just be like, hey, can you make this ad for me with my company, like for my company? And then they'll be like, yeah, sure. And they'll just model this exact ad, find the same clip. If you want to record a little thing like they did right there, then you can, and they can put it together. But that's another thing. You can research your competitors' ads and then just have your editor kind of model it after theirs, because they know theirs already works, so might as well just keep it working, right? And that's two ways to have your ad made, right? And those are the easiest ways: make it yourself or have somebody else make it. We have one example of our ad here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it. This is just one of our ads, but I'll pull it just so you can kind of see. I'm not sure if you can hear that.
Eat it, bird droppings and road salt eat at it, and water spots leave lasting damage. At RG Master Detail, we fight back with professional grade ceramic coating.
Yeah,
This
so you can kind of get the idea.
Color and
We're going through some of the benefits, some of the process, and then the other thing on how to do it is the offer. So what you need to, the first thing you decide on is pricing. You don't have to include it in your ad unless you start getting low quality leads. So for us, we leave it open. We don't include the price in the actual video or the ad copy, just because we don't want to cancel people out very quickly at the beginning. You want to start the ad broad targeted, and then as you see results from the ad, if they are unqualified or you need to narrow down the targeting, then we can put the price in the ad, and that will kick out a lot of the people who are unqualified before they even click on the ad, because it'll be like, oh, $1,500, I'm out. And you don't want those people clicking on the ad anyway, because you don't want to pay for them, right? So yeah, decide on your pricing. I would highly recommend sell a premium service. Don't compete on the $500 ceramic coatings. I would charge what you're worth. Don't discount just because you're running ads. And then, like I said, we don't discount on the ad. We never do. But I would add $300 on your price, and then I would always be running some kind of special. So right now it would be Christmas time or New Year special. And when they're on the phone, you can gauge it. You can kind of tell when you're on the phone with a lead if they're going to need a price discount, if they're going to be interested, if this price is going to scare them away. when you're on the phone, it's like, oh yeah, for this week only, actually, we are doing $300 off on that ceramic coating that you wanted, or PPF, whichever. And for this week, if you book it this week, it's going to be, whatever, $2,000, whatever. That way it adds a little scarcity and urgency to get that discount before it runs out and they have to book it full price. And then you have to have a real expiration. So you say like, yeah, if you don't book before Friday, and how we do it is if they book for the following week, but they do it before Friday, I can still honor that discount. So you could do that too, because we always take deposits with these jobs too, $100 deposits every time, just to cover ads costs if they cancel, or equipment and supplies and stuff. But yeah, you have to have a real expiration or it doesn't work, because they're going to call you back and be like, oh yeah, can I still get it? You can honor it. You can, but I would recommend to actually stick with it. Unless they're actually, if you say like, no, I'm sorry, we're not getting there, like, okay, I'll just go to a competitor, might be worth just cracking to get that revenue, but it's really up to you. And then you can always throw in add-ons at the end. So we always do this. It just makes sense. You can do it on the phone at the end of the sales call, or you can teach your technicians to do this at the job. But windows and glass and rims, those are all extra for us. They're $199 each add-on. Normally we'll throw them both in for $199, just kind of as another deal. So after they book, a $1,500 coating, like, all right, cool. What card do you want to put on file? Get their card info. And it's like, oh, okay. Also, while you're in here, we have a window coating and a rim coating. They're specifically designed for those areas of the vehicles. Work in the very similar way to the ceramic coating on the rest of the vehicle. But if you want the whole exterior coated, those are just add-ons we have. They're normally $199 each to add on. Right now, we can do it for $199 total for both. And they're like, yeah, just throw it on there, because they already spent $1,500. So I would always throw in add-ons at the end as well, because it'll just raise your average ticket price. Those are the two: creative and offer. That's the first step. Getting your creative dialed in, either editing yourself or getting an editor to edit it for you. Editor probably costs $40, $50 for an ad or two. And you can barter with them and kind of set up a pricing. If you're going to be making more ads down the line, they'll probably give you a cheaper price. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so we've gone over how to create an enticing offer that attracts the wealthy vehicle owners, as well as how to make the ad creative that stops their scroll and brings them into your actual ad campaign, right? Next step is how to target those people on Facebook, actually, so that the ad actually goes in front of those people and you can get them in as leads, right? So what most retailers do, we'll start here, is they either, one, they never try, they don't ever run an ad. Two is they boost a post or try to run really bad ads, or they start an ad campaign that just doesn't work at the very beginning and they cut it off too soon. That happens a lot. Or the third thing, and this is probably the most common thing where you've probably done this, is you've worked with an expensive ad agency. They aren't detailers. They tie you down with contracts, long-term contracts for months or even a year, or they take a percentage of your revenue just off the top. All three of these things can really suffocate you down the line. But we're going to go over kind of how to fix that, right? So the first idea in the framework is you probably heard of it. It's KISS, keep it simple, stupid. We're going to set up a campaign that brings in buyers, even if you've never ran an ad before, or you've got burnt by an agency, or you've ran your own ad and it just didn't work. Any of those things we can fix. And I've worked with all the detailers that have done them. The keep it simple, stupid part of it is we don't want to overcomplicate it. If you overcomplicate it, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're not going to want to run it. You're going to get scared that we're spending money and we're not seeing results. Just don't worry. We're going to keep it very, very simple. And Facebook algorithm is really good now. There's not a lot of complications to it anymore. But here's some examples of campaigns you run. You can see this guy's got $3.53 lead cost. He's killing it. 27K per month up to 55K in a little over 2 months. And then we've got, $10 lead cost here, $11 here, still very profitable. And he's in a tiny little town in Iowa. He started doing 13K per month. He's added 36K in the last 27 days. This is Nathan. He's been absolutely crushing it. So I'm going to show you exactly what we do to get these results right here for our clients. Now, the how-to, first step is Ad Manager. I'm not going to walk you through the Ads Manager. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to go to this link right here. I'll have it below the video. Make an account, link your Facebook page, that's the first step that we can get that started. If you need help with that, go to YouTube, look up how to make an ads manager account. I'm not going to go to that. We're going into more depth in the weeds. So campaign setup, this is really the bread and butter here. So first thing, offer something specific and valuable. 5-year professional grade ceramic coating, PPF on the front, whatever, clear bra on the front grill, whatever, what it has to be actionable and specific. It has to be specific and valuable, right? So you don't want to say like, hey, just protect your car, like just something broad like that. It needs to be something they might have heard of before. They had a brother that had it done on their vehicle and they're interested, or a coworker, whatever. And the other thing is, don't position yourself as a discount detailer. Don't mention you're doing any sales on the ad, or don't underprice yourself as a big one, because you're just going to bring in a lot of low quality leads. As far as ad type goes, it's going to be a lead generation campaign, because that's what we're trying to get is leads. And targeting is the next big thing. So just keep in mind, the new Facebook algorithm is really, really good. So you can run a broad campaign, and what I mean by that is no targeting at all, other than your city, because you're a local business, you're a detailing shop. Even if you're mobile, you can only go so far. But if you're a detailing shop, you're in that area, right? So you're going to narrow down by location, city, pick your city. It will draw a big 25-mile radius around your city. You can change that 25 miles if you want to go further or shorter, but that's a broad campaign. You could touch the age a little bit and move it up from 18 to probably 21, 25, somewhere in there, because most people buying PPF or ceramic coating aren't going to be 18. But for the most part, you don't target anything else. Like, you would just keep it broad, and then the creative is what's going to help find the people that want the ceramic coating. And that's what Facebook has been telling us recently, is that let the creative do your targeting for you. So that's because the Facebook algorithm is so good. I put up an ad that is a ceramic coating ad. Facebook knows that. They know what the ad is for. Based on that and the ad copy, it will then test it against people they think will be interested in ceramic coating. As people start filling it out, it will naturally start trying to find more people like those people that filled it out. And then that's how you get it kind of narrowed down. That's the broad way, right? And I would start there. You will spend a little bit of money at the front end so Facebook can find it. It is really good at finding people who are interested. But if you notice in the first few, maybe a week or two, that you're spending $20 per lead, or the leads that are coming in are super low quality, then we can get a little bit more narrow. You can target by luxury vehicle or interest. There's a bar that says detailed interests. There's a bar that says detailed targeting. In there, you can type in a bunch of things and it will target the ad based on that. One of the things is a luxury vehicle, and it'll say interest on the right side. It could say employer, employee, job title, interest, that kind of stuff. This will be a luxury vehicle interest, and then this will pull from people who have showed interest in luxury vehicles within your target city that you've already narrowed down. You could do that. There's also high income earners, same thing. You would go in and go income, and they have top 5%, 5 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 to 50%. So we can narrow down by actual income. It actually does it by income zip code, I believe. So it'll be like the top 25 to 50% of high income zip codes will be targeted. But that's another way to narrow it down to get that top percent. And then you could manually just do top zip codes only. So instead of putting in your city in the location targeting, you would just go through and specifically do the zip codes you want in ideally wealthy areas. Now that is going to really, all three of those things are going to really narrow down your ad. That can result in higher lead costs, but also if your creative is really dialed in, it might result in way more qualified leads that are a little bit more expensive. So instead of getting low quality leads that don't want to buy for $5 a lead, you're going to get high quality leads that do want to buy for $15 a lead. So that would be worth it, that trade-off. But those are 4 targeting options. Now we have probably 10 to 12 different targeting options that we kind of test and tweak, and we have a bunch of workarounds to kind of tweak ad campaigns and get costs lower and get more get more unqualified buyers out of the campaign. But these are the 4 main ones that I would tell you to work with to start. Now, what we want is to get their name, email, phone, and vehicle type. Ideally, we want all of it. Now, if you just did name, phone, vehicle type, that would work too. But if they're already doing those 3, throwing in an email really isn't that bad. are that hard, because you want to keep the friction as little as possible, right? We don't want them to click off the ad because we asked for their vehicle type, right? But if they're looking for a ceramic coating or PPF, they're giving us their vehicle really isn't that intrusive. This is automatically going to tie into the nurture sequence we'll build in the next module, and that's where we pre-sell the lead before we ever talk to them on the phone. But this is the information we need from the lead in order to get them in the nurture sequence and to give them a quote, and just this is just very typical information as well. As far as budget goes, $50 to $100 a day is what we recommend. You're going to be able to see results very quick and tweak. That's the biggest thing, right? Is speed. If you want speed, spend $100 a day. You'll know about halfway, maybe one full day, if the ads are converting or not, because you're going to get, say the lead cost is $10, pretty average. You're going to get 10 leads that first day. You'll be able to talk to them. If you can't sell one of them, you might want to tweak something in the ad. Now, one day is a tough cutoff. I would never cut off an ad after one day. I would give it at least three to four at $100 a day. So yeah, it's $400 right there of testing. Now you could do it at 50, you could do it at 25. The thing is, you're just going to learn slower, right? So say you're doing a $25 ad campaign a day and you're getting $10 lead cost. You're going to get 2 leads per day. So it's going to take a while before you learn if those leads are qualified, if they're not, what is the problem with the campaign. Rather, if you're spending 100, you'll know in a few days, like if it's working or not. It's a speed thing for me. Now, some people just don't have the money. I don't think you're one of these detailers because you clicked on the ad, you have a detailing shop, you want to scale to 50, 100K per month. It's not like we're trying to get you to 10K a month, but $100 a day ad spend gets you that quick response time so that we can tweak the ad and course correct and go to a different way and narrow it down, or just keep it running and up the ad spend if it's converting. But that $100 a day, even $50 a day is better than low. Like $50 a day is really the lowest I'd recommend, because we can still learn in a few days, maybe 4 or 5 days, and get the ad campaign dialed in as quickly as possible. Now, as far as expectations go, for the ad campaign, this is normally what we expect. So at $50 a day, let's go conservative. That's 10 leads a day at $5 a lead. Now, this would be really good lead cost. It could be up to $10 a lead. I would say that is still a good ad campaign. Anything above that, I would probably just turn off. But even at $5 a day, you get 70 leads per week. We always expect a 10% close rate, just as a ballpark. Now, we'll be trying to get this number up the entire campaign, because naturally you make more money. But 1 out of 10 people that actively click on a ceramic coating or PPF ad and fill out their information, that pretty reasonable conversion rate for 10%. We have guys that do about 20, 30%, but 10% is very doable. That gets you to 7 coatings or PPFs per week, and that's how we get to that $5,000 to $14,000 per week. And this is only with $50 a day, keep in mind. So these numbers could double hypothetically, and that is really how we scale. Now, again, like $5 a lead is cheap. So it might be $10, $15 a lead, but if you're doing $100 a day, it's still ultra profitable. So it's not a big deal if the lead cost is off here or there. Now, where some detailers go wrong, the first thing is terrible creative. They run some generic ass ads that don't grab the attention of people at all. But most importantly, if they do grab the attention of people, it is not your ideal client. No one with this actual Porsche right here sees this ad and thinks, oh, these guys are pros. Like, it's just a generic, like, templated ad. So you're just throwing money away if you're running this. There's not even an offer on here. It just says ceramic coating, Dallas, Fort Wayne, text to get a quote. Like, there's not even an offer or anything. I saw that ad on my timeline. I was like, that's atrocious. Number 2 is they quit too soon. So these are the guys that run, $20 a day ads, and they spend for 3-4 days. So they spend like $80, and none of the leads sell, and they're like, well, I think that's it. I guess these ads don't work. And they just haven't gotten enough data. Like, they're probably getting $20 lead calls, so they got 4 ads, and because they're probably not dialed in on the ad side either if they don't know how to run the actual campaign. So $20 ad costs, they got 4 leads, didn't close any of them, spent $80, and they cut the ad off. Like, I talk to guys all the time that run ads like that. And I'm like, you just didn't. So you didn't learn anything, and you didn't. Primeable detail. But yeah, like you haven't learned anything from the campaign. You've gotten 4 leads. That's not enough to make any decisions. You spent $80, also not enough to make any decisions, and they cut it off, and that's it. They just call it a day, and they decide ads don't work, or they just don't learn and adjust. It's a science experiment. So if you run an ad, even for $100 a day, and you just set it up and you let it run for a month, there's a chance it works, but odds are it's not gonna just work perfectly. There's gonna be some tweaks you need to make. And it might work fine, but it's not as profitable as you could be, right? But most of the time, if you run an ad campaign and do it that way and don't look at it for a month, you don't know ads very well, so the ad's not going to be dialed in at all, and it's not going to go very well. And then you're going to decide the same thing, that ads don't work for you, and decide that you're wasting money and turn them off, right? But we can solve all 3 of these things. They're easily. We know how to not make generic ass ads like that. I've told you. You can always do more. You're probably familiar with Alex Hormozi. He's a big do more guy. So, you're spending $20 a day for a week. You need to be spending $100 a day for a month to actually see results at the beginning. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be dialing it in. $100 a day for a week or 2, that will be enough for me to dial it in, because we've ran hundreds of campaigns, like I said. Now, for you, it might take a little longer, and you can always start at $50 a day. And learn your way up like that. And keep in mind, it's not like you're going to spend $100 a day for a month, so that's $3,000 roughly, and make no money back. You're going to be getting leads in and selling coatings and PPFs. It's just about making it as profitable as possible and optimizing it, right? So instead of, you might sell two coatings and PPFs in the first week, and the next week you sell 2. Then from then on, it's like, all right, how do we get to 3 or 4 like that? It's dialing it in from there, but you're going to be profitable throughout it, at least when we run your campaign. But the game is optimizing it to make it ultimately as profitable as possible. And then the last problem, like I said, you just don't learn and adjust, and you just turn it on and hope it fixes itself and it's profitable, which is not exactly how it works. Now, that's pretty much it for how to target. All right, we're on step 3. So we've worked on your offer. We've dialed that in. Showed you how to make ad creative that actually gets real buyers to stop scrolling and fill out your information. And I've showed you how to target wealthy car owners on Facebook, actually within the ads manager. Now, the third step is how to nurture these people before you ever talk to them on the phone to get them to be ready to buy before you call. That way it makes the sales call that much easier, right? Now, what most detailers do, if they ever run an ad like we've been over, the lead comes in, maybe they call them once, maybe that day, maybe the next day, maybe a couple hours after they come in, they don't answer, or they aren't ready to buy right now, and you never talk to the lead again, you don't follow up, and then you get upset because the ad isn't working, right? Now, it's so common, it's crazy. Like, we have guys that join our program, and this happens, and they don't reach out to the leads, and then they blame the ad, right? And it's a crazy lack of awareness, right? Now, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it inside our Done For You system. That way you can get an idea kind of if that's a good fit for you. If not, it's no big deal. But I'm just going to run through it really quick. Now, for this offer, it's called our Booked Without Chasing system. That's our Detail Wizard system. We do all this right here, which is the offer and the ad, the targeting. We manage your Facebook ad campaigns. We handle all your follow-up, which I'm going to get into down here with our follow-up system here. In the framework, but we do all the follow-up and nurturing, and then you just do this, which is the actual selling part, booking the job on your calendar. We take out all the trial and error, and you can learn from the last 5 years of mistakes and wasted money in my own personal detailing business, as well as the hundreds of detailers of campaigns we've ran throughout the last year and a half. So you're getting all the benefits of that up front. The goal is always to add 50 to 70K 75K per month to your business. It doesn't matter where you are, and we're going to be focusing on ceramic coatings and PPF. So if you don't do ceramic coatings, PPF, tinting, whatever it may be, this isn't for you. But if you do high ticket services, then this is a no-brainer really when we get down to it. And how we're different is we're ran by a real detailer. I've been doing this for the last 5 years. I know the market, I know the industry. I talk the talk of a detailer. We get you up and running within 48 hours, which is by far the quickest turnaround time. The most annoying thing for me is when you sign up for an agency or a course or anything, and they have like a week before you can get onboarded. It's like, bro, I'm excited to start right now. I want leads right now so that I can book them in this week. We get you up and running in 2 days. We also keep it really simple. All you do is sell and book the jobs in your calendar. We do everything else. As far as one-on-one support, we do that as well. Coaching, I can help you with really anything in your detailing business because I am one. But what we really do is we bring in high quality targeted customers into your detailing business to help you scale to 50 or add really 50 to 75K per month to your business. That's our bread and butter. That's what we do for hundreds of detailers all over the country. Now, what you get, it's a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to run through it pretty quick. Custom ad creative team. We have a custom ad creative team. We make all your creative. We've pre-tested all the ads so that they grab attention. They're proven to bring in jobs. Because we're running campaigns right now, we know what works. You get unlimited edits. And this is so you can just skip all the mistakes and wasted money. You don't have to make the ad. You don't have to pay an editor to make the ad. We take care of it for you. We manage your Facebook campaign. I personally set it up, and I manage it every single month. That way, I know that the lead cost is good, the cost per lead is good. I'll be talking to you directly about the lead quality, letting me know if the people are qualified, if they have nice cars that need to be coated or wrapped. But you get that included. Pre-built nurture campaigns. So this is what we're going to go over in this video. But this is our fully installed automated follow-up system. So you can see it's very in-depth. It's a week long. But this is a 30,000 foot view. I'm going to go over in a couple minutes what this means. But this is our nurture sequence. You can see they start down here. If they don't answer, they get a text, follow-up text, email. If they don't answer, follow-up text, email, follow-up text, all the way down for the first week. And then even after this, they get thrown into another nurture sequence, which is 8 months long, totally built in. You get a free Detail Wizard CRM account. But anyway, instant lead alerts to your phone. Every time a new lead comes in, we text you immediately. That way speed to lead is big. So if you can get contacting a lead like minutes after they fill it out, you have a much higher chance to close that customer. So we text you immediately when a lead comes in. The next thing you do is a Detail Wizard CRM account. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's built into this, but I'm going to go through some of the main features. First one is the all-in-one inbox. You can see here, it pulls in text, emails, Facebook messages all into one place here, and this is what the software looks like. So you get all your messages all in one place, Instagram DMs, Google Business Profiles. That way you never miss a lead or it never slips through the cracks. We have a lead pipeline here that this just keeps your leads organized, so when they come in, they go into day 1. They can move to day 2, day 3, day 4 automatically. And then over on this side, we have even more columns that you can click and drag the leads to keep them organized. Free business phone number. We assign you a business number so your cell phone number doesn't get blown up. And we actually pay for the text fees and call fees. We have integrated payment processor so you can link it to PayPal, Square, Stripe, any of them. And you can send invoices, payment links if you don't already have that. Social media scheduler built in. This is normally a secondary software you have to pay for. But if you do content, you can link. You can link in your socials here and then schedule out posts, months, weeks in advance, so it goes out to all of them at the same time. And then we have some bonus text and email campaigns. We have a gift card campaign that actually it crushes every year. You can see that's like $33,000 in gift cards. And this big spike here is Black Friday and Christmas, and we have the same spike for this year. Bright Card review raffle campaign. You can see we have 207 reviews on our Google Business Profile, and we have a campaign that is specifically built to get you reviews, and we give that to you for free. And then we have this is that long-term nurture, that 8 month long campaign I was mentioning, where your leads just keep getting, just touch base with very less frequently than the original campaign. That's every day. This one's like, once a week or so. And this just keeps you in the back of their mind. That way later down the road, when they're looking to book a detail, they go with you rather than going back to Google. The next part of it, so far we've been over it. You get our custom ad creative team where we build all your ad creatives. I personally manage all your Facebook campaigns and set them up and manage them. You get our nurture campaign set up that I pre-built myself. It's the same one I use in my business. That gets the leads warm and ready to buy before you ever talk to them on the phone. We do all this through the CRM account. All these nurture campaigns are built inside the CRM account, and this helps you manage all the leads and talk to them routinely. The next thing is our elite sales machine. Now we do this through I give you my exact sales script that I use every single day, and it's you just word for word. You can just read it off to the lead and close them. As well as I have some sales call recordings. Now these are for ceramic coatings, but if you do PPF, they're very, very similar. You just switch the wordings out from ceramic coating to PPF. Now sales calls, these are recordings of me actually selling and booking real customers. So you can hear my cadence, my tone, and kind of how it flows. And then we have a supplies list with links to all the cheapest stuff that I found, but cheap but good. But that way you know you're getting the cheapest price for any of the supplies you need. You get a free membership to the Detail Wizard community. This is the one you're in right now. You get a classroom of training videos on all kinds of stuff, including my marketing, other marketing tactics, supplies, softwares, all kinds of how to hire employees. But you get that totally for free. This whole process and this whole system has taken me 5+ years and easily over $100,000 in ad spend just to dial in the right ads, how to tweak and test the right ad to make sure we're bringing in the right people that book expensive jobs, learning how to pre-sell leads through text and email. That way the sales calls aren't just like talking to brick walls that aren't interested. And then coming up with that right recipe in that script in order to sell them. All that stuff, each piece just kind of built on itself where I'm like, all right, start with the ads. All right, we found an ad that works, but it's not bringing in the right people. How do we fix that? And we fix that. And now we're bringing in the right people, but the sales calls are really, really tough. How do we fix that? All right, let's pre-sell them through nurture sequences for a few days. Now it's okay. Now it's easy. Now when I get them on the phone, what do I sell to make? Like, what do I say to make them buy the quickest? Right? Each thing built on itself, and it just took a long, long time. Now you just get it instantly, and I just install it in your business. And for pricing, you can join anytime. It's $2,000 a month or $750 a week. 2 to 3 jobs puts you ROI positive super easily, right? But for our action takers who are in this group, and this is the join anytime price, year round, you can join at this price. It's just a great ROI as well. But for people in this group and in this workshop, for the next 7 days, we have action taker pricing. So $1,500 a month, or you can get started for as little as $500 a week. So you could join today for $500. We can get your ads up and running in 2 days, run them for 4 days or 5 days, depending on the timing. And you could sell your first coating, and then it's $500 a week from then on out, right? Pretty good deal. And also easily you can make ROI on either one of these, $1,500 a month or $500 a month. It's one job, you're in the black, right? So if you're interested to get started today on the action taker price, there's going to be a link below the video, probably at the top. It'll say like get started here. You can go there, you'll sign up. When you sign up, you'll go there, you'll pay. You can pick whichever, either the $1,500 a month or the $500 a week. When you pay, it'll take you to fill out our onboarding form. This is where our ads team will get information about your business so that they can build out your ad campaign, or your ad creative, and so that I can build out your ad campaign. In the next step, after the onboarding form, you'll go to our onboarding calendar. This is where you'll book a call with me directly, and I'll set up your Facebook ad campaign. Will give me access to your ads manager, get you inside the CRM software, and make sure that we're on the same page for the actual campaign. But that normally takes, you can do that probably tomorrow, and then it takes a day for our ads team to make the ad normally, or maybe a second day, that's the 48 hours, and then ad campaign can go live that next day. So very quick turnaround time in terms of getting started. And like I said, the deadline is 7 days. So join within 7 days of joining this workshop. You can get that action taker price, but absolutely no pressure. You can always join whenever you're ready at that anytime price. And as far as if you're wondering, like, is it for you? If you have less than $1,000 for marketing or ad spend, we require you got to have more than that. I mean, we're trying to add $50,000 a month to your business. So if you can't spend $1,000, then you probably can't work with us yet. We'd love to work with you down the line, but you're probably not there yet. Mobile detailers, we have dozens of them that we work with. Bigger guys that work on, higher end vehicles. They've got probably at, $15K, $20K per month. As a mobile detailer, we work with a bunch of them. But shop detailers is really where we flourish, because you can work year round. The weather doesn't affect you. Ugh, I had to get a drink of water. But yeah, if you have a shop, we'll install your system just directly into your business. We'll plug into you. If you have sales reps, we'll plug the system straight into them so they get notifications and they can sell the leads. But yeah, we bring in and can add thousands in coatings and PPFs straight into your business. Our job will be 5 jobs per week with the starting budget. If you go $100 a day, our goal would be 5 jobs a week to start, and then we can always scale up from there. If you don't offer ceramic coatings or PPF, we recommend you learn and practice that before joining, because the worst thing would be if you're like, I've never done one, but I'd like to get started, and you come work with us, we start selling jobs, and then you're basically practicing on customers' vehicles, because you're going to get a bad review, then you're going to have to stop working with us, and you're a little too early to work with us. Not a problem. You can always go, do your personal vehicle, buff it, put a coating on there, put a PPF on it, and then you can start selling it whenever you feel comfortable. But that's what we recommend. But as far as detailers that we work with, shops and mobile detailers making $15,000, $20,000 or more, we can work with you all day. You've got the ad spend that we need to run ads, and you want to add that 25, 50, 75K per month to your business, and you're right there. Like, that's the next logical step. The most successful detailers we work with, they are not necessarily the best detailers. They're the best at these systems, not actually detailing. I'm not the best detailer in the world. Now, I don't detail anymore, my guys do, but even them, they're not the best detailers in the world, and yet we have 4 of them that work every single day. We're just the best at marketing and running the system to get jobs, right? We move fast. They don't think about they move fast. They think about their options. When they make a decision, they take action and they stick to it until it works, right? That's the biggest key to success in really anything. Is just, first thing is making a decision. You could do all this yourself, great decision, or you could work with us, also a good decision. There's just 2 options, right? Keep going through this training, do it all yourself, that's fine, or work with us. But you can't stay in the middle and think about it for too long. You got to just pick a decision and go with it, and then make it work, right? That's the biggest thing. And then you just stay persistent, and you really can't fail if you just never stop trying. They also do the easy things. So the only difference between the detailers that we work with that scale and don't is just showing up. You don't have to make the ads, set up the ad campaign, or create the follow-up systems. All you have to do is call the lead. I'm assuming, pick up the phone, call the lead, stick to the script, book the jobs with every single lead. If you do, you will succeed. We've never had anybody not make a profit. That's a hell of a statement. We've never had anyone not make a profit that called every single lead in a timely manner. Like, if you just pick up the phone, stick to the script, call the leads, you will sell them and you will make money. Like, it's that predictable. And I can't help you if you don't do that, because that's bare minimum. That's what your competitors are doing. So if you can't do that, then we can't really help you. Now, current clients, we've got a bunch of them. Like I said, I've already showed you the testimonial page, but if you want to check it out, it'll be below this video. You can see some here of just bookings coming in for guys. This is what I do. Like, this is what we do. This is what we've been doing for the last over a year and a half now. It's our bread and butter. It's just a part of the detailing business that I actually like to do. Within 48 hours of onboarding, leads start coming in, and you'll have your first sales call opportunities. You'll be waking up to new leads every single day. They have luxury vehicles, and they have a need to protect them. You'll be focusing on $1,000 plus jobs and hiring new detailers. No more waiting. No more employees waiting on the next job, sitting around the shop, sales reps complaining about lead quality, or just not knowing where your next job is going to come from. You're going to be running an actual profitable detailing business without stressing for your next customer, and you're going to be excited. That's the biggest thing. You're going to wake up actually excited about your business and the future of your business, and you'll be able to see 50K, 75K, 100K per month right there on the horizon, and you have a logical process to get there, right? That's what's going to keep you excited. Now, the decision, you have to make it the right one for you. Great decision, like I said, work with us, do it yourself, use another strategy. Whatever it is, it keeps pushing you forward. The bad decision would be, I'm going to think about it, and you're going to think about it for months, right? Just make a decision and stick with it. Go with your gut. Work with us, don't work with us. Try to figure out yourself. Either one works, but just make one, because the longer you sit and do nothing, your competitors are making decisions, right? Like I said, action taker price, $1,500 a month basically, or $500 a week. Go below this video and you'll see a sign up link. You could also DM me the word scale and I'll send you the sign up link. If you're still thinking about it, you can always go below this video and sign up at the anytime price as well. That link will be down there too. If you have questions, just DM me below this video, or you can go to the FAQ section in the classroom, or you can make a post in the actual community. I see all those posts there. Now, as far as what's next, whether you decide to work with us or not, I hope this training helps you, points you in the right direction, inspires you to take some action, and to take your detailing business to the next level. I'm going to go into the nurture sequence and the sales process in the next 2 modules, but I wanted to throw this in here now because I know some people won't make it to the end of the training, and I want everybody to have an opportunity to work with us if they want to. Now, as far as the framework for the nurture process goes, first big thing is speed to lead. 5 minutes is ideal. If you get to them the same day, you're doing better than most. But speed to lead is a big one, and then consistency is the biggest thing. So talking to every single lead every day for the first week. Now, keep in mind the rule of 7. If you haven't heard of it, it's like a marketing term. It takes an average of 7 interactions or touch points with your brand before a purchase will take place. So a lead has to talk to you or see you or hear something from you for 7 times on average before they make a purchase or a buying decision, right? But how is it possible to have 100 leads and talk to them all 7 times, right? And that's what we do that's why we do automations. If you've never ran a setup an automation before, don't know what software to use, don't know what to say in the automation, that's what I'm going to go over right now. But this is how we handle that scale problem. Because if you get 100 leads, you can't talk to them 7 times each. That it just becomes unfeasible, right? Especially if you want to do it quickly and stick to speed to lead as a key factor. That's how we do automations. All right, so how we do it, we start with our sales system and an overview. First of all, the lead comes in, we call within 1 hour, that's a max. Ideally, you want to be minutes later. I mean, that's when they're most thinking about it. We're going to close 1 out of 10 on average of these customers on the first call, right? The other 9 will get sent a text every day for the next 5 days. So say the other 9 don't answer, or they answer and they're not interested right now. We're going to send a follow-up text to them every day for the next 5 days, right? We're going to close at least 1 or more out of those 9 by the end of the week. So now we're 2 for 10. That's 20%. And we're actually going to call them again. So let's say worst case, you just call them when they first come in, but we call everybody every day. So like we call all the day 4 people, then all the day 3 people, then all the day 2 people, like that. That way we have multiple more touch points, right? We're going to close at least 1 or more of these people in those next 5 days of those 9. But you got to keep in mind, new leads are coming in every day. So we're going to be making new sales on the new leads that are coming in at the same time as we're getting follow-up sales on the follow-up guys. So it just compounds over time and gets better and better, right? And it doesn't stop there either. After the 7 days, we're going to add them to that long-term nurture sequence that I was talking to you about a little earlier that you get included with the Detail Wizard, which is less frequent but more touch points, right? More brand awareness in the future. So later when you want to run a sale or you want to sell gift cards or you're just sending out a nurture text and they're like, you know what, I have been thinking I want to get my car detailed. They go with you and not somebody else because you've been in their inbox for months, right? And they trust you. They know you're reputable. It makes you look a lot more professional that you're doing, long-term email marketing. That's things big businesses do. Not many detailers do it. I'm about to say about 9 out of 10 detailers definitely do not do that. So this is kind of our sales process as an overview. You get all that included in Detail Wizard, but this is how I would build it out if you're going to do it yourself as well. Now, what to say? This is our first, nurture sequence when a lead comes in. As soon as the lead comes in, you're going to introduce yourself and ask if they're free for a call. You're going to call anyway, ideally, right? You're going to, and this one happened, all these happen automated, so you're not actually sending all these. But when a lead comes in, we have it text you so you know to give them a call. At the same time, we're asking them, are you free for a call? You're going to call either way because that's just good business practice. If they don't answer, or they're not interested right now, they can't talk, whatever, just move on to the next lead. And then they'll get on the second day, we're just going to remind them that we're here, ask them if they're still interested, because people get busy and they might not have, they might have filled out the Facebook ad and then, gotten busy with family stuff and whatever. But the next day, they're, oh yeah, I am interested. So we're just going to remind them there, ask them if they're still interested. Number 3, we're going to send proof of your work. So this is where you get, before and after pictures. We're going to text these to the lead. We give you these as well inside Detail Wizard. And this just builds credibility and is a big pre-seller because they're going to be like, oh, wow, like that's crazy. I don't know if you can see this well. It's like all swirled up car, perfectly brand new paint car. So that's, big selling point. You could also, you could send a picture of your shop or you in your shop or you and your team in your shop. Anything that kind of proves that you are legit and pre-sells you to them, right? Now, day 4, focus on the problems that the ceramic coating or PPF solves, right? So we're going to just poke at some pain points in the text, which can be anything. It's like, hey, you have bugs on your car that those are eating away at your paint. We could, get those off for you and put down a coating or a PPF that protects against that. Just poke at some pain points. That's day 4. Day 5, we're going to offer a free quote, remind them to take some action, and you're going to call anyway. Like I said, ideally you call them every single day. Might not be feasible depending on how big your team is, but if you have sales reps, you're going to call them every single day. But we're just sending these texts out because it pre-sells them. It's easier to read a text than answer a call and waste time on the phone when you're not really sure if you're interested or not. Then day 6, scarcity and urgency. We're going to let them know you only have a limited number of slots this week, and you could also offer some kind of discount for this week only and include it in your price. It could be that $300 off that we were talking about earlier, or you could make it whatever, or you could throw in like free glass and rims, or just free glass or free rims as your add-on. Instead of discounting it, you could just throw something else on. That's like the last ditch Hail Mary at the end of day 6. I mean, they haven't answered any of your texts in 6 days, so they're honestly probably not a hot lead anymore, but a last ditch effort, scarcity and urgency, throw in some free thing, maybe you might get them, right? Now, if they don't respond to any of those texts, or they're not interested at that time after a week, we're going to add them to that long-term nurture campaign. And how we build that out is it's going to be 80% value, 20% sales or CTAs. The idea is it's a nurture, right? We're just going to stay in the back of their mind. We're going to send them tips and tricks and valuable stuff on how to maintain their vehicle's paint and interesting articles. 20% is going to be call to actions on actually detailing or ceramic coating or PPF, whatever it may be. That's the makeup. That's how we get them to not unsubscribe. That way, later down the line, when we actually need to contact them, when we want to sell them gift cards, or we want to, run a sale for something, then they're still on the list and they haven't unsubscribed, and they've been getting value from us and they trust us, so they actually listen to us. That's the breakdown of the long-term nurture. As far as where we're going to build this on is we do it. There's really 2 options. The done for you option is our Detail Wizard CRM. Like I said, you get it for free. It's included in the done for you offer. But if you want to do it yourself, you can build it on Go High Level. That's what I'd recommend. It's like $97 a month, and you'll just get a blank slate software. So I'll show you Detail Wizard real quick too. All right, so this is what Detail Wizard looks like. You can see like all our messages in here. We've been running a big gift card campaign to like 13,000 people. So we're getting some people that are opting out, which is fine. We want them to opt out. Like if they're not going to buy later, we don't want to have them. We don't want to waste money sending text to them, right? But you can see we got calendar, contacts, opportunities, payments, social media scheduler. This is where the automations are. And you won't get any of this. All this stuff will be blank. It won't be branded to Detail Wizard. And like there won't be, in the automation section, for example, you get it preloaded with a bunch of automations. There will be nothing here, and you'll just build it out yourself. So it's really up to you. It's only $100 a month. So there's a bunch of YouTube videos about setting up automations on Go High Level and all that kind of stuff. So you can build it out yourself, no problem, for $100 a month, like I said. And that's the software we'd recommend. There's other competitors out there, but Go High Level is by far the best one and the most in-depth and customizable and everything. Keep in mind, when you send these campaigns out, some people will opt out, and it's fine. Like I was just saying, if they aren't interested in buying, we don't want to waste the time and money sending things to them if they don't want to buy it, right? We can also disqualify people based on budget and vehicle when you're running your ads. That's another, just a thought to keep in mind. And just keep in mind it's a process. It takes time. If you want to flip a switch and have your calendar full of high-ticket customers in a day, that's just not feasible. It's not how it works. We need to let the system run and just trust the process and get better every single day and optimize the lead every single day, right? It's a process. It can be quick. And we're talking, weeks, or you can double your business, triple your business, even depending on where you're at. You could add 100K to your business per month. Like, these are not small numbers. So you can't expect to have it overnight, right? But you saw some of those results. Guys are doing it in 2-3 months. They're already at, 50K per month. So very feasible. All right. So we've gone over how to make a good offer that entices the right clients, as well as how to make a good ad creative that stops the scroll and brings in luxury vehicle owners that are ready to buy. We've went over how to target luxury vehicle owners on Facebook, as well as how to do nurture and follow up automated. That way you're sending emails and texts every single day rather than having to manually touch base with every lead, which would be impossible. The last step is how to actually get them on the phone and sell them, right? Because that's the most important part. All the first steps are all in hopes that we can sell them and book them on your calendar when it comes down to it, right? Now, what most detailers do, even if they have no experience selling $1,000 plus package, it's not a problem. I've helped hundreds of detailers sell high ticket, so don't worry there. They think they can wing it. They've been doing it forever. They've had their shop for 20 years, and they're very well versed in detailing talk. But if you don't do the same thing every single time, you are leaving money on the table. It's just a fact. So if you don't have a system or a script or anything, and you just kind of get on the phone and wing it, customer to customer, you're definitely 100% leaving money on the table because it's not a predictable process. And if you want to sell without a call, there's really only two reasons why, or there's really one reason why. Two, I guess. You don't know what to say, so you don't know what to put in the script, or you're scared to sell on the phone, which is possible. I mean, it's possible to sell without a call. It's just very unlikely. Like, we have booked some ceramic coatings through text. It just doesn't happen very often. When somebody's spending that much on a PPF or ceramic coating, they're going to want to talk to somebody, ask some questions. And how to beat the fear, just have a plan. That way it takes out any stress or unknowns that the customer might say something you might not know what to say, or you might not know how to handle some objection. When it's just written down, there's no guesswork. You just, oh, they said this? All right, I say this. It's a process. It's a system, right? And that's what I'm going to show you how to do down here in the how-to section. You can see this is our whole how-to on how to write a sales script. As far as results go, I've shown you guys all the testimonials. I've showed them before, but if you want to check them out, they'll be at the link below this video. Just not all, but some of our clients' results, our framework for the sales script. First of all, discovery. You're going to learn about their situation. All right, that's the first thing you need to know. That way you can use it later in the process. Second thing is you're going to explain the benefits of the ceramic coating, right? You're going to educate them a little bit on the benefits, and the transition between these is so are you familiar with ceramic coating, or are you kind of new to the whole process? That's when you explain the benefits of the ceramic coating. Then the next one, I'd probably leave a little break here to let them talk and just let a second. That way you're not talking for 20 minutes. But after you educate them on the benefits, you're going to go into the process. You're yeah, so for a vehicle like yours, we'll start with a blank and then go into blank blank. This is where we convey the value. That way they know it isn't just a regular detail. This is where we kind of impress them. There might be some words they don't know. We don't want to confuse them too much, but we do want to throw some industry words out there. Iron decontamination is it's a chemical decontamination that gets out iron filaments in the paint. You're going to want to throw some stuff out there that they might not 100% know what it is, but they'll ask if they have a question. But this also makes you look like a professional that knows what they're talking about, right? As well as just explaining the process. The last part is the close. And this is where we offer a clear, simple price, and we offer to book them in and their availability. Now, I would also, whenever I transition from this to the process to the close, I would always start with, so when are you thinking about getting that booked? That way it switches their frame of reference in their head from thinking about it as an option to when would I be free to get this done? It makes them a buyer in their own head, right? So that's how I would transition between the process and the close. Then I just offer a clear price. Yeah, for a vehicle like yours, for the 3-year coating, it'd be blank. I would actually start 10-year first, but I'd also ask them which coating they're more interested in. But I'd be for the 10-year coating, it's blank, and 5 is this, 3 is this, and then they can choose, right? And then you can always throw in Rammer class for free if they do it this week on the phone. There's some sales games there, but if you want to use my exact sales script and not worry about writing your own, you can go to the link below this video and get it for yourself. As well, it is included as well if in the done for you offer. If you work with Detail Wizard, my team, and me, we just give you the sales script as well. The next step is to take action. Whether you work with me, which I would love, we will do all the front end. All you do is book coatings into your calendar or PPFs. We do both. or you do it yourself. Just make the right decision for you. I'm not a pressure sales guy. I don't like being pressured to buy things, so I don't do it to other people. But we'd love to work with you. If not, that's also great too. We can still help you out. This can be the biggest mental hurdle, right? Is you get the ad made, you set up the campaign, you build out all the follow-ups, like you did all the back end, right? And the leads start coming in, and now you have to convince someone to actually book with you and trust you with their car and pay you thousands of dollars, right? That this can be the biggest mental hurdle to get over. Like all the beginning part of like making the ad, setting that automation, that's all kind of in the shadows. This is the first time you're going to be making contact with leads, right? This is why we just take the guesswork out of it. You write a script, step-by-step process, so you're always prepared, and it just takes the stress away. So you can get over that little hurdle in your mind, right? Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, how to write your script. First of all, the opening, just intro and rapport building. It's nothing crazy. You're not going to try to waste their time. I spend seconds on this. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, it's cold out there. And they're like, yeah. And like, all right, yeah. So I saw you're interested in getting your vehicle ceramic coated. Like, I don't waste much time on rapport. I mean, I make them sure that I'm a real person. I'm not AI, but I don't spend much time on that. I'm not trying to waste their time, right? Same reason this training isn't 7 hours long. It's like, I'm gonna give you what you need, but there's no reason to waste time, right? Ask them if they know about ceramic coating and the process, if they're new to the process. Either way, we're going to go into the same pitch, but it's going to change how you word the things, right? Throughout the pitch, right? So after they give you their answer, just like, yeah. So I saw you're getting your Mercedes, your G-Wagon ceramic coated. It's like, yeah, I was thinking about it. Cool. So are you familiar with ceramic coating? And I'm going to use ceramic coating just as an example, but it could be PPF as well. So you're familiar with ceramic coating? Yeah, I had a neighbor get it done, but other than that, I'm not really sure. I've watched some YouTube. Either way, it doesn't really matter, but then we go into it's like problem. Okay, yeah, I can break it down for you. So let me ask, how do you take care of your car? Do you wash it yourself? Is it tunnel car wash? They'll tell you. It's like, how often? Okay, so how often you drive it? Is it kept inside? Is the garage kept? Like, no, we're trying to get a gauge on what shape the paint is in. We'll know what year the vehicle is. You can normally gauge it on that alone, really, what year it is. And then you can also ask them what condition is it. Like that, it's down here. I'm not there yet. You're bringing up things that later in the call you can recall and a ceramic coating PPF can fix or help with, right? We're trying to find problems in their routine that a ceramic coating or a PPF can fix, right? And then I would always ask what a condition it is. You can get an idea by the year, and I would always assume the absolute worst. Like you're going to get, say it's like a 2021 BMW or whatever, and it's black. They're gonna be like, yeah, no, the paint's actually pretty good. Like, there's really nothing wrong with it. You're gonna get there, and it is gonna be swirled bad. So just keep in mind, it's going to be bad. I would do it mostly by the year, especially if you're on the phone. If you're doing it in person, great, that's even better. You can do that easily. But if you're doing it on the phone, I would always lean more toward the worst side of the condition. If it's a brand new car, I would still do one step at least. But for anything more than that, it's like it's gonna be a 3-step at least. Then we're gonna go into the benefits. So there's like, yeah, so now we know the problems they've had, the condition of the vehicle. It's like, okay, yeah. So honestly, I think a ceramic coating or PPF would be great about this because when you're driving on the interstate, it's gonna protect against all that road tar, acid rain, bugs, bird poop, any of that kind of stuff that normally lands on your paint and eats away your clear coat. It's gonna protect against that and not be able to eat through the ceramic coating. That's why it's designed that way. And that way your paint stays pristine underneath. It also makes it to where washing and maintaining your vehicle is super easy. It's super hydrophobic. That way, you just spray water on your vehicle and it just rolls off. All the bug poop, bird poop, bugs, tree sap, all that kind of stuff just rolls off. So you kind of go into the benefits based on what the problems they said they had. Then I would go into the process broadly, and again, this is where you show your expertise. First off, we start with a hand wash, hand dry, iron decontamination. I would go in a little bit more depth, but you're just going to go through the process. That way, they know you know what you're talking about. Then I would ask some consequent questions, like if the ceramic coating would solve the problem they mentioned. Like you're like, so you think a ceramic coating is what you're looking for based on protecting it from blank blank. And then it's like, okay, or you could frame it the other way, like what if they didn't get it? So it'd be like, So I mean, if we're not going to get your vehicle ceramic coated today, the bird poop is probably going to land on there, and it's going to eat away at your paint eventually, right? And get them to say, yeah, probably. And then you can like segue that into like the natural solution is ceramic coating or PPF. And then after you're done with the pitch, right at the end, I would say, so what do you think? That's all I would say. And then I would stay silent. You don't want to be the first one to break. You want them to talk now because you've been talking for a while. You want to hear their reservations, their questions, anything like that. That way you can rebuttal them in a second. Now they might just say like, sounds great. And I'd be like, great. When are you thinking about getting it done? We've got openings on this day, this day, and this day. Most likely they're going to be like, yeah, so, what's the damage? Or, what's the price? That kind of thing. That's when we go into where we always have a $300 off special going. Now you could keep this one in the back pocket for if they turn down the original price or whatever, but I would just include it in my price. Like, well, actually the owner's doing a $300 off deal this week only. If you get on the schedule for this week or next week and you book this week, we could take $300 off our 10-year coating. That coating is normally blank for your vehicle with 3-step paint correction, and this week you can get it for blank. That's what I would kind of frame that as. And then as far as objections go, the main ones are too expensive. What we're going to do there is compare letting their vehicle get damage and the repair costs and the loss to value to the coating or PPF price. And you could also do financing for ceramic coating. It's not super common, but you could do it, just pay in monthly installments or use Klarna or something like that where you get all the money up front, but they pay in installments. That's also a great option. We use that for Detail Wizard as well. You could also talk to a partner. They will also might say they need to talk to a partner. I would just schedule a follow-up. Now, there's some pushier ways to handle this objection where they're like, oh, okay, do they help make the decisions or are you more the decision maker? And you kind of try to like bait them into saying like, I'm the boss. I don't like that. I wouldn't like that being done to me. I would probably hang up. So for me, I'm just like, okay, yeah, sounds good. Is it you free later today after you talk to her? It's normally going to be his wife. And I can give you a call. And they're like, I don't know about today. How about tomorrow morning? Like I would find a specific day and time to schedule a follow-up call. That way they know it's coming. It's not like, okay, well, I'll call you later this week. They are not expecting your call. They don't want to talk to you again. So I would schedule a specific callback. Same thing about think over it, send an estimate. I would not send them an estimate. Well, I have before, so I'm not going to say that. But normally I would just say like, yeah, we can send an estimate, but it's just going to be what I said over the phone. So, but they might want that on paper to show their, wife or whatever, and just not tell you. I would still do the same thing. Ask them what's making them think about it, and then schedule a follow-up for later that same day or the next day. Like it can't really be longer than that, or they're not going to remember and they're not going to care. Now remember, practice takes perfect. You're not going to master this in one day. Now, if you have sales experience, you can crush this, and this is probably elementary stuff. But and we have guys in the system that crush the sales part of it. Like we're getting them leads, and they're just knocking it out of the park. But if you don't have experience with it at that much, or your sales guys aren't that good, this is the framework that we use, and we have a sales script, like I said, that you get access to inside of Detail Wizard. If you want it yourself, you can go and buy it below as well. And then I would always take deposits. That's a big thing. When you get bookings and somebody books for a week out and you don't take a deposit and they cancel, you cannot be surprised. Something came up, they can't afford $1,500 anymore, and you're the first one to go, right? I would take at least $100 deposit, if not just like a higher percentage of the job before, like right on the phone during the call. And if they can't take it, I'd be like, okay, well, you can always call us back. We can't hold your spot without the deposit, just because we have limited spots. But if you're ready, whenever you're ready to actually book, call us back. We can take the deposit and we'll save that spot for you. They're non-refundable. I wouldn't say that. That's what a deposit means. But that's where you cover your ad costs if they cancel, your equipment or your actual coding cost. But yeah, so that's why I would take deposits. That's pretty much it for our sales process.